art. It's really what you can get away with, isn't it? Vinyl Guru in the house. Here to talk to you today about new acts. Some more luscious new acts. Let's get into it, yeah?
Vinyl Guru, Vinyl Guru. Vinyl Guru.
Okay, so the first one is gonna be an act that actually moved from California to New York, which is quite rare as everyone's doing the complete opposite now. But this act I quite love. She is really something, she's really harnessed something quite interesting. Her songwriting style, her lyrical, and her vocal delivery is really something to witness. If you are a fan of Carpenter, you really quite love this darling here. This is Wise Blood. This is her first record that came out in 2014. The Innocence. Really quite fabulous. Next record is her second record that she had that came out. Front Row Seat to Earth. Came out in 2016. Really quite fabulous. And you know how we do with them squiggles. Next record is a record that she did with Ariel Pink. And it came out in the same year. And also really quite fabulous. This is the two seated on their thrones there. And alas, the record that broke her into the hemispheres is now she got signed to Sub Pop, Titanic Rising. This album shook the game, my dear. The year it came out last year, really a breakout album. Phenomenal, darling. Let's give you a dip. But before we do that, I also want to show you a fun little 45 that she came out with, covering some of my favorites here. Soft Machine, can't go wrong.
Nothing in it for me except my heart. Oh, coldly. Get tired of looking, you know that I hate it.
Woo, honey! We're doing fabulous here. But you know what to do. And you know what I'm gonna ask you to do. Come on. Don't forget the little bell. Don't forget that little bell. That bell is gonna keep you posted with the fashion and the wonderful sensations and sonatas that I will continue to play here with my plastic sensation. All right, sweetie, you're doing awesome. You're doing great. Keep up with me, okay? The next one we've got here is gonna be an English act from Essex. Yeah, nice and loud. Yeah, Essex. I love them. They're wild and crazy over there. Anyways, this is the band called The Horrors. I know this is quite the bizarre album cover, but this is their latest record, V. Nothing to showcase on this side, believe me, but this album, wow, really, really tasty. I actually discovered them on this album and then backtracked, but wow, really great stuff. I mean, very garagey and out there and post-punk madness. I love it. You can tell they've definitely studied that 60s garage rock sound, but also studied people like Nick Cave and people like Bauhaus and Joy Division. You could tell. You could hear it in this. You can so tell. Let me give you a whirl. The next cat on the bill is somebody who simply cannot be ignored. His session playing on so many records alone is to be credited for this, but he puts out his own records, so here we are doing this tango. This cat would be Thundercat. This is Thundercats' 2011 record, Golden Age of Apocalypse. Really something to dig into. He is really something interesting. Thundercats Apocalypse. His new record kind of looks like this as well, and I'm waiting for it in the mail still, so it's not gonna be in this video, but great stuff. We got a lot to show here, so it is what it is. Thundercats, The Beyond. This came out, I think, around 2015. Yeah, The Beyond and Where the Giants Roam. And I also have a 45 of his that is very Dragon Ball Z-esque. He is quite the anime fan. So there you have it. This is a Japanese exclusive, so you know how we do on this channel. Before I show you his music, let me just tell you the amount of people this guy has worked with. It's crazy, crazy. If anybody knows hip-hop, soul, R&B world right now and are currently listening to the current music, you'd be blown away at the amount of people he's worked with. Let me give you a swirl here, okay? Okay, so he's worked with Childish Gambino on Because the Internet, Mac Miller on Live from Space, Jhené Aiko on Sold Out, he was the bass and producer, Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, come on man, come on, Suicidal Tendencies, The World's Gone Mad, Moses Sumney, A Romanticism, who I love that artist, he's quite phenomenal. Kamasi Washington, who he's tight with, and they're both extraordinary musicians at the moment. He worked on Harmony of Difference, 2017 release of his. Bad Bad Not Good. NRD, No One Really Dies. Come on, this is just unbelievable. Janelle Monáe, Dirty Computer. This came out 2 years ago. Kali Uchis, you know, Isolation. He worked on the drums, guitar, bass. I mean, the guy is a genius. You know, Kenny Loggins, can't believe, but Kenny Loggins, yes, he did some vocals, bass, and featured on a record with him. He's just unbelievable. Danny Brown, you know, Gary, Wiz Khalifa, I'm done. You know what, I'm done. This is just outrageous, right? So let's just listen to a little bit of gorgeousness.
Nobody move, there's blood on the floor.
Next up is going to be an act from New York, and they are super interesting as they concoct and pull from various different genres. We're talking indie rock, analog synth stuff, my gosh, hip-hop sampling, and they cover it in this pop sensibility, which makes it really interesting. They have their own sound, essentially. It's really hard to categorize them, and this is why they get booked on all kinds of festival lineups, because my goodness, they really conjure it all. This is Fantagram. This is their first record, Nightlife, really fabulous. Came out in 2011. Really, really great. It's kind of like an EP LP because it doesn't have that many songs on there, but this is what I discovered them on. Eyelid Movies. Really fabulous stuff here, darling. We got songs like Mouthful of Diamonds, When I'm Small, really big songs of theirs, but my favorite is Futuristic Caskets. Heat, heat. Then they came out with Voices, a record that really, really broke them out into the hemispheres. I'm talking people were watching, honey. They were watching them after this. And this has got Blackout Days, Fall in Love, Nothing But Trouble, really big stuff. They even got a record called Bill Murray. Fun people, real fun people. This is a duo, Sarah and Josh, and they have been best friends forever. And nothing wrong with having a buddy on your side. We've got Big Grams as well, a record that they worked on with Big Boy. Really, really fabulous. They've got one song on here, Highlight of Mine, Gold Mine Junkie. Really good. Then they put out a song, an album called 3. Not too long ago, came out in 2016 now. Wow, 4 years already. But this album, really fabulous as well. You Don't Get Me High Anymore, one of the big songs on this album. I even have the 45 of it. Yes, I do need help. And I have the 45 of the other, Fall in Love, the other record, Voices. Really fabulous too. Also, I need help, I know. But really, really good stuff. This whole album I really quite like. I mean, yes, it tickles around the loudness war, but really interesting. This is their newest album, just came out recently, called Ceremony. It's got quite a list of interesting things going on here and subject matter. You know, they always play it dark, which is what I love about them. But let's give you a cocktail, my dear.
Show me love.
Next up to grab is gonna be a phenomenal artist, one not to ignore as well. He is kind of like a psychedelic rock soul, slappin' soul is what he's calling it. I love it. I love this guy. He worked with one of my favorite producers, Danger Mouse, which is why, you know, you simply cannot go wrong with this. But Curtis Harding, really great stuff. Face Your Fear came out in 2017, and it came out on one of my favorite labels, Anti Records. Puts out some of the tastiest stuff out there. Real artists, you know. But what to say? I mean, he's toured with some of my favorite people too, like Lauryn Hill, The Roots, Outkast. Come on, man. Come on. Take in this conscious brother.
Remember all the good times till the end.
What can I say? I thank you from the bottom of my loins for watching this, as it means the world to me to support the new acts while also loving the old. There's nothing wrong with living in both worlds, dear. Nothing wrong with that, okay? So, always ask yourself, why does she toodaloo, honey? Toodaloo.